What's happening, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the Palworld trailers, starting with the very first one right here. I feel like this game is going to have so much depth to it just by observing these trailers, and I'll explain why in the video. So we all know that we can use our pals to help us build our base, but what I'm wondering is, are we going to be able to have a house to like call our own? Are we going to be able to have a home in the game? Because this obviously looks more like a home than a base. So maybe we can have a base and a home. Maybe we can just like build up a whole entire world to call our own. Who knows, really? And obviously most of us know we can use our pals to power up the generators. You know, we can have a garden using the water, but this right here is what I want to talk about. Now, I feel like this game is going to have a lot of depth because of this right here as well. But as you can see, the player is shearing one of the lamb bells. And we already know there's so many different uses for lamb bell. Like, we know we can use lamb bell as a shield, but to be able to shear it and to get wool from it, there would most likely be some crafting elements of this game because of, you know, Craftopia and such. I'm assuming, you know, there will be some crafting elements. But I mean, there's never been a Pokemon game where you can shear your freaking Pokemon, you know? And we do know we can use our pals to help us on our farm, and pals can wield equipment. So, what kind of Pokemon do you know that can wield equipment? I mean, I don't know any. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that much like Pokemon. Gameplay-wise, you know, it's not an RPG. There's no linear storyline that we know of, and it's more of a survival game, like Ark, than anything else. Dude, I love how freaking Grisbolt is just getting in there, tearing things up. Look at him. Bam! Now, we have seen in like numerous videos that you can interact with your pals and do like emotes with them and such. Like, it's so cool. So cool. You can't do that with Pokemon, so it's going to have more depth than Pokemon. And obviously, you know, the breeding system, the Fusion Pals, it looks complex, and I love it. Now, part of me wants to think that there may be some kind of storyline because I've seen villains in the trailer. So why would there be villains if there's not some kind of story, you know? I'm thinking maybe the villains could be a Team Rocket of such. Now, here's another thing that I really want to talk about. I'm wondering, is there going to be fishing in the game? As we can see, you know, the player has a fishing rod. Now, keep in mind, this trailer was posted 2 years ago, and things can change. But if that's the case, look at this. We have Jolthog on the fishing line being used as bait. Like, that's pretty cool. That's really depth. I'm just saying. If you can actually do this in the game, like if this isn't just like marketing and you can actually do this stuff, it's gonna be awesome. And here we have an NPC on Gyarados right here, and I'm wondering if you'll be able to ride on Gyarados through the sea and the ocean. That would be pretty dope. But yeah, that is definitely, obviously it is some speculation. Alright, so here we have the second trailer right here. Let's go ahead and break this down and talk about it. So I want to talk about this scene right here. There's a good bit going on. I do see that there is a road down here. So I don't know if there's going to be towns in the game. I do think that there is going to be, from what I've heard, there is going to be like merchants and like traders and such. So I don't know if like those are just going to be in the wild. I don't know if like this whole entire map area is going to be like, you know, like the wild areas like in Pokemon Arceus, you know? Or is there going to be like towns? I haven't seen any footage of towns. So either they haven't just shown us footage of towns yet, or maybe it's just not going to be in early access. Maybe it'll come in a future update. But this kind of reminds me a little bit of Red Dead Redemption right here, you know? When you can like lasso a horse and you can drag your horse or whatever. But they're doing this with the PAL right here. And this right here kind of reminds me of Slime Rancher. Now, I haven't played Craftopia, though I've watched, you know, some Craftopia videos, and some of the videos said they can, like, harvest souls, so I'm wondering if you can harvest your pal's soul in this game. I mean, that's kind of dark, but hey, you know. And here we know that we could feed our pals, because if we don't feed our pals, then they will most likely die. But also, no, we can see the player cooking right here. Does our player have to eat too? That's what I'm wondering. And look at all this furniture like here too. I'm just very curious of what this is. Is this like one of the players' houses? You know, can you actually like put furniture in your house? I don't think it would be that depth, but I know it's gonna be depth though, but I don't think it's gonna be that depth. You know what? Someone said in one of my comments, and they have a pretty good point, that this big monster whale, I'll go back, this big monster whale right here could be like multiple different pals all in one to be one big monster pal like this right here. I thought that was a pretty interesting theory. Now, another thing that I'm wondering too, obviously when you first catch a pal, they're not going to have any weapons on them. So are you going to be able to mount weapons on your pal? You probably will. But do pals have a preferred weapon, or can pals only use certain weapons? Because we've only seen certain pals with certain weapons. You know, we haven't seen, you know, Grisbolt over here with the shotgun. It's always the minigun. So can he only hold the minigun? And here we have more villains. Another reason why I think there may be some kind of story, just because of the villains and such. And then we have Liz Punk over here in the back corner. Now I'm thinking Liz Punk is going to be one of the villains' pals. I think Liz Punk has like special abilities to where he can like direct pals underneath of him. So he's kind of like a supervisor. Alright, so here's another thing that I want to talk about that I feel like this game is going to have a lot of depth to it. As we can see right here, Relaxosaurus just ate this Squishmallow. Relaxosaurus ate Pingloet, and I'm thinking there might be some kind of food chain in the game. And that would mean Relaxosaurus would be at the top of the chain, and Pingloet would be at the bottom, near Chicky Pie, or Chicky, or whatever the chicken pal's name was. But yeah, there's so many different pals. So many different pals that we can ride on, fly on. It's gonna be crazy. And I think this right here is some kind of Coliseum. We do know there's gonna be faction leaders. I'm assuming they're gonna be like gym leaders from Pokemon, so maybe this is one of the stadiums that we will battle in. Alright, so here we have the third official trailer right here with Shadowbeak on the very top of the cliff. Now here's another thing that I want to talk about. Obviously we know that we can ride on different pals and such, but one thing that's kind of interesting that I've noticed, like, you can have more than one pal out at a time and they'll follow you. Because as you can see right here, we're riding on this one, and then we have Vixie right here. They're both walking together, you know, which already makes it way more depth than in Pokemon. In Pokemon games, typically you can only have one Pokemon out that follows you at a time, but with this, you know, we have two pals right here together. Now I'm wondering how we're going to get our ammo, and I'm also wondering if guns are going to be upgraded. If we can upgrade our guns, that would definitely make it more depth and complex. But still, how do we get our ammo? Will pals be able to make us ammo? Or do we have to like find merchants and buy ammo? Is there going to be any currency in the game? And what is going to be the use for like mining minerals? Do we need the minerals from the rock to like build things and craft things? Probably, I'm assuming. I wonder if this is going to be like one of the starter areas right here, because all these rush hogs right here are all level 1. So I'm wondering if this is going to be like a starter area. It seems like in a lot of these scenes, you know, they're fighting the Liz Punks, which definitely feel like Liz Punk is going to be one of the evil pals, if there is evil pals. Anyway, guys, those were the 3 official pal trailers that a lot of you guys might not have seen yet if you're just now finding out about Pal World. Because like I said, these were posted, you know, a year or 2 ago. So yeah, I just think this game is going to have a lot of depth to it. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that's about it. I'll see you later.